Hello and welcome to episode number 12 of the Pin Podcast. I'm your host, PinUp Miami. Welcome. I'm so excited. Today's episode 12. I want to thank you all for joining in and listening or watching me on YouTube. Make sure that if you're watching me on YouTube to hit that like button and subscribe for continuous content on my podcast and other beauty and event related videos. And if you want to listen in, I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, iHeartRadio, any podcasting network. And today I have a very special guest. And if you guys are watching me on YouTube, you'll see this beautiful red glamorous lipstick I have on. And I'll show you the packaging here really quick. It is well known for its packaging, and a lot of my friends and everyone in the industry will know. I mean, in the pinup rockabilly world and everywhere else as well. If you already haven't guessed, it is Besame Cosmetics. I have Gabriela Hernandez here. She is an artist, a author, and a makeup historian. How are you today?
I'm great. I am great. I'm so happy to be with you. Yeah, it's all of these Zoom meetings and everything else is getting us so connected with all of the different groups of people around the country. So I'm very happy to be with you.
Yes, and I'm so humbled that you're on here too. So I really appreciate it. Thank you again.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
So let me see. Besame has been in the industry for 16 years now, correct?
Yes. We started in 2004.
And how did you come up with the name? I know Besame kissing and...
It's from the song, the song
Besame
Mucho. Yes. It was written by a woman, in Mexico. And it's about like the first time that she was kissed. And it's a very romantic song. It's been done all over the world by all kinds of singers. This song continues to be popular everywhere, really. And it just inspired, it's kind of like the DNA of the brand is very romantic and feminine and very much a woman's song. And that's what inspired the name of the collection, and the company is really that song.
And that's amazing because I named this podcast Besame Mucho.
Well, there you go. So you were also inspired by it too.
Yes, because my dad, he loves karaoke, so he's always singing.
Okay.
I'm
That's
Cuban,
awesome.
and I know you're Argentinian.
Yes, I am, but I'm married to a Cuban.
Oh, that's a good mix.
Yeah. So my kids are half and half.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
Do you dance?
Yeah, when I can. My husband is not too much of a dancer. I like dancing. My son loves dancing, but my husband, he's kind of more shy, so he's not too much of a dancing type. But I dance with my son.
Nice. That's how I met my boyfriend, swing dancing.
Okay. Yes. It's so much fun. Dancing.
Yes, it is.
Swing.
It really makes you escape and have fun. Just like you could say with your makeup, it's an escape from reality to make yourself feel beautiful and be confident. So.
Oh, definitely. It's all about really everything around it. Like, when you put it in your vanity and you have like, it's pretty and it makes you feel very feminine. And it's all about the whole experience, not just the makeup, but everything around it too.
Yes. And this all started with a piece of artwork you did, no?
I did different artwork that was inspired by my grandmother's things. I had a lot of her old makeup and things that were really dainty and pretty, and I didn't see that in like makeup that was being produced when I was buying it in the stores. And I wanted something that kind of had that romantic feel that I saw in her older products. So I started drawing and making sketches of what I would like, and that's kind of how I started with one small lipstick is how I started the company.
And then from there it grew to having the oh my gosh, the liner, and it's what really got you off the map, no? After the lipsticks.
After the lipsticks, I did I did powders, and I did rouges, and then cake mascara was one of those products that I made because I thought it's a neat product from the past, and I don't know if people will like it, but I think it's kind of cool. And I really didn't think people would really enjoy a product like this, but it's been one of our best-selling products so far. Really, cake mascara continues to be kind of a crowd favorite, but I had no way of knowing that people would like it, though.
It's amazing when you don't realize what's gonna be like everyone will love. You always think, oh, and then people love it.
Yeah, it's kind of very interesting what they like. I mean, they always kind of like our aesthetics, and that's what drew people in the beginning to our things. It's like kind of how they looked, and the colors, because we're known for our reds. We have a lot of reds, and we reproduce them from all different eras of time. So all our reds are made from our originals. I collect makeup. I have a whole museum in my shop, and from my collection, I take the best selling ones from different periods and I remake those shades. So that's why all my shades have dates on them, because that's when the original was from. So you can get a red from the 50s if you want, or you can get a red from the 40s, or one from the 30s. Yeah, so you can wear a red from different eras and kind of imagine yourself at that time if you want, or just see how the colors differ depending on the time periods too.
So do you so you know how people always talk about fast fashion? Do you feel like a lot of the makeup nowadays is just fast makeup? Like I see a lot of YouTubers and all they do is like you have to buy the most expensive thing, and it's like every other day you have to get this. But what I love about your product is that they're all timeless colors and you can just wear them all the time. You don't have to be like, I don't know. Am I coming across?
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. No, it's true. I mean, we've never followed trend. We're not a trend driven company. We're more of a kind of a classic thing. So things that you can use all the time, and things you can pass it down to other people, like our refillable compacts and things like that. You could pass on to your daughter, or keep using it indefinitely, because you could just keep refilling it. So it's things that you don't necessarily replace, or throw away. It's things that you keep and you use for a long time. Most of our products last you a long time, so you keep them for a while. And some people like the cases, so they keep them and repurpose them for different things. So a lot of people repurpose our cases, like our rouge tins. They repurpose for like pill boxes or other things. So it's something that you could keep around if you want, and kind of give it a new life. So it's not the same. It's definitely the opposite of the fast fashion type of makeup that is very, very trend driven. It's like kind of like, for example, remember when that rainbow highlighter was in for a while, and everybody was doing the rainbows all over, and it was all over YouTube and Instagram, and those things are very short term kind of things.
Practical.
Yeah, they you're not going to be wearing this 5 years after. So they're kind of like, just kind of like a fast fashion, where something is in, but after you wash it a few times, it's kind of like a rag kind of thing. So a lot of that makeup, it is kind of flash, but no substance kind of stuff. And it's meant to be used quickly, and a lot of times the people making it don't really take a lot of care in the production. So you have to be careful that you buy from people that you trust, because a lot of the times, there's a lot of shortcuts in businesses that are not meant to be long term, so they don't necessarily take all the safety precautions. They don't have the insurances that are required for selling products. They don't have the safety concerns in manufacturing. So you have to kind of be careful sometimes that you know what you're getting into. It's like kind of when you go shopping for makeup in downtown LA or something, or in a swap meet scenario, you don't know what you're getting
Yeah.
when you're doing that. So I highly I don't recommend that you shop at swap meets for makeup. Please don't, because even though things look inexpensive sometimes and they look like they're brand name, most of those are counterfeit products. So you don't know what's in those, and you could definitely get hurt from the stuff that they put in counterfeit. So don't buy brand name makeup that isn't sold in a reputable location, because most likely it is a counterfeit product, and you don't want to put yourself in that kind of dangerous situations too.
Have you ever found your products counterfeited? Because
Yes, yes, we have. Yeah, definitely. There were people on Amazon selling our copies of our brushes that had a different, no logo on it or a different logo, but it was exactly the same brush. So yes, there are people, and you just have to go after them one by one. It's very tedious stuff, that kind of thing, but it does happen a lot. And my main concern is to make sure the consumers aren't getting hurt by things, because when people think it's us, but it's not us, who knows what's in that tube,
Yeah, your products are made in the U.S.
Yes. Yeah. We manufacture locally here in California. So we know what's in our products. We know how long they last. We know when they're safe to use. And we tell you this. So if you get product that's made somewhere else, or somebody, made a duplicate somewhere else, who knows what they put in that. So we have to go after them to make sure that there's no safety issues with the things that they're selling.
See, it's amazing how many components are in a business. I also work in manufacturing. Yeah. I have another job. I work in pillow manufacturing. I'm the general manager. Yeah.
Cool. That's great.
We always run into people copying, because we subcontract. We have different contracts of people making like dog beds or different kind of products. And we see like when they decide to go offshore and make it in China, like then that's when people copy them. And I'm like, well, that's what you get when you're trying to be cheap.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what happens. It's very hard to not have people in a factory overseas copy a product if they think that they can sell it as a white label product and sell it on other channels. They will.
As private labeling.
Yeah, it's basically private labeling with your intellectual property.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no way to prosecute people over there. There's no laws that help you. It's very, very difficult to do. You would have to get a legal firm in China to go after them. But all of this is very complicated at this point. It's just a hard thing to get across. So you have to be careful when you manufacture overseas.
And so when you started off, was it difficult starting off like as a woman, being Hispanic?
Oh yeah, it's always difficult. I mean, it's difficult now. It's still difficult. And even after so many years, you would think that after so many years, things would have changed, but they didn't really change that much, manufacturing is still difficult, it is driven a lot by men still, most of the industry. So when you come in as a woman, is hard. When you come in as a Latin woman, it's even harder, because they try to kind of put you into a category. Yeah, and say, oh well, if you're Latin, then you only make products for Latin people, but which is total nonsense. I mean, what does that look like? There's Latin people that look like all kinds of things. We have all kinds of different hair color, skin color, and it's not like a closed category, like to say, a woman is a woman. Who cares where she's coming from? But the industry doesn't quite understand it. They put people in different categories, and they try to break them up into like social economic categories by where they come from, which again is very unfair. And it's what creates that division in the market, and all those divisions in the market, which right now we're trying to overcome. And you can see all the things that are going on because of those divisions, but they still exist. Yes. I still see them in retail. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I see them in manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started off as a project manager at hotels, just like designing the furniture, and I'd come with
Mm-hmm.
my assistant that was a male, they think that he was in charge and I was the assistant. And it was always a battle because I'm like, I'm the one making the decisions here. Like,
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's very difficult. And as a woman, it's difficult a lot when you deal with mostly male-dominated things. Because you go in already at a disadvantage because they don't they don't think that what you're going to say is worthwhile already. So you already have to overcome that perception that you don't really are bringing anything worthwhile to the table, really, because they know everything already. So yeah, so it's kind of it's frustrating as heck a lot of the times. Yeah, you do, and a lot of things that are male dominated are that way, and they're still that way. If you look at comics and comic book characters and things like that, very male dominated industry. So it's very hard to make them understand what a woman likes and what a woman's needs are in that genre, because it's been very much dominated by guys.
Now, I'm curious about I haven't been to California. I haven't been to your store. But you have, I didn't know that you had a museum of your vintage beauty collection there.
Yes, I do. I have a whole museum, and it's hundreds of items there from all turn of the century. I have books from the 1800s in there. I have all kinds of things. So if you're interested in makeup from different eras, I have a lot of things in those cases that people can look at and kind of ask questions or look through my books and reference. I have that mainly for Hollywood because I'm very close to the Makeup Artists Union, which is close by my store. And whenever they get a film project that has a period makeup in it or any kind of period that these things are, TV or film, they come over and look at my reference and ask me for things if I have a color for a certain year and this. So I work with them quite a bit on different shows.
Like Hollywoodland, no?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I did. That one was one, and we had lipstick colors for all of the different leading ladies in that one, and we did props for the whole scenes that had that soda shop and store scene. All of that has all our props in there. All of the counters are kind of like Besame counters in there. So it was kind of fun to do that one. That was fun. But we work with a lot of all of the kind of American Horror Story and different ones that they did on Netflix and also on for all of Ryan Murphy's shows, most of his shows. So we work with most of them actually, and we still do. Also, all of the ones that are coming up, we always have some makeup in the shows.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, there's
I always follow on Instagram, so when I was watching Hollywoodland and then I saw your post, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. The next one that's coming up that we did some stuff for is called Cratchit. From Nurse Cratchit from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So this is her backstory. So it takes place in the 40s. So
it's the American Horror Story one, no?
Yeah, it's American Horror Story. It's from the same series. So, but it has to do with her backstory because she's kind of like the really mean, evil nurse in the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest film with Nicholson. So this is her backstory. So why she became so mean and evil, and this. So it starts out in the 40s, and you see her as a younger girl, but there's there's a lot of extras, a lot of really cool sets and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
And from your time working with in Hollywood, is there any like moment that you could talk about that was like one of your highlights? I'm sure you have a lot of them, but is there one that stands out?
Well, it was really cool to see Lady Gaga put on our lipstick on one of the hotel, Horror Story Hotel, where there's a scene where she's putting on the lipstick and she's kind of like putting it all over her mouth, kind of like That's our lipstick on there. So it's also another one for Fossey Vernon. Catherine Zeta-Jones is putting on our lipsticks on there. So those are Jessica Lange puts on our makeup on there. So it's very cool to see all these actresses with our products and kind of interacting with them and putting them on is very cool. Pretty much any actress, it's kind of surreal to me to see them interact with our products and use them. It's just very interesting and it's very humbling too.
What would 2004 Gabriela Hernandez say about you today?
Oh my goodness. I think she would be pretty surprised because I never thought I would be working with Disney and Marvel and all these people. I mean, I had no idea. I've always been a Disney fan, but I never had any idea that I ever be involved with the company in the way that I am now, where I get to go to the archives and interact with all these people, and they give me things, and I get to see things that are, years and years, 100 years old. It's really cool. And I never thought I would be able to do that. So I think if I were to have seen what I was doing now, I'd probably be pretty surprised that I was able to do all this stuff, because I really had never even in a million years thought that I would have the opportunities that I've gotten to do really interesting and fun collections and things.
Oh, that's amazing. That's an inspiring story because, at least for myself, speaking for myself, I don't know where I'm going, but I know that I love my vintage rockabilly stuff that I do, and I want it to grow. So it's really nice to hear it. Very inspiring.
It is. It's all about you in your artwork, because the reason that they came to me in the first place because of my art, because I didn't contact them. They came over to my shop and they liked what I was doing with my things. And they said, "Can you do this with Snow White?" And I said, "Okay, sure." But it wasn't something that I was looking for, but it was kind of really neat that they actually saw something in my artwork and they were, inspired to do something with it, and for me to do something with them. So it comes down to, your own talents and how you express yourself and you develop your talents so that other people can see them, and the opportunities will come. I always say to talented people, opportunities always come.
Good words. Is there anything else you want to share about Besame? Any fun facts that not a lot of people know about that you want to say here?
It's been a very long and very hard road. People think that things are easy because all these Instagram people make it sound easy, that from one day to the next you have product and you have a brand and this. But it really isn't, because it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. To have a long-term running business takes a lot of time and work, really hard work, that a lot of people probably don't want to do, so they don't realize how much goes into that and how much you have to give up too, because, I don't have a lot of vacations. I don't have a lot of time off. Or any of those things, because I have so many things I need to do that it's very hard to kind of be off. I am never really off. I'm kind of always thinking about business, but that's how it is. When you're dedicated and it's part of your life, and you put yourself a lot into your business, it's kind of pretty much it's always there in the back of your mind, even if you're not at work. People don't understand that. I think sometimes the amount of sacrifice that it takes to do these things, but it's worthwhile because it does pay off, but it takes a long time. The people on Instagram, that make it look easy, it's kind of an illusion that it's just like all their other pictures that are made up. Basically, it's another that's kind of made up because it's not really real. It's kind of it's not a long-term sustainable business. It's there's a lot of opportunists in the market at this point. So there's people with money that are trying to make very fast money. So they kind of put money behind certain people just to make something quickly, get their money out and get out, basically. So there's a lot of opportunists doing this. So I think to the younger people, it might seem like it's so easy to be in business, but building a brand takes a lot longer than that. It's not as easy as what they make it look like. But it is fun. And if you're dedicated and you're passionate about something, then go for it, because you can do it. It's just how much you want it. You really have to want it, because there's a lot of people that will tell you no. There's a lot of things that you have to give up, so you don't, party all the time, but you have to do things for the business. You have to work. So there's a lot of things that you have to give up for things, but if you think it's worth it for the end result, that's really what you keep in mind, the end. What am I going to get out of this? And does it make me feel happy? Because you have to think of yourself as like, I'm going to do this for a very long time. Does this actually make me happy? Or am I going to be miserable for years and years and years, kind of thing? So I keep that in mind as well. So do something that at least has aspects of it. I mean, I can't tell you that 100% of what I do is fun, because it's not. There's a lot of it that's very tedious, and it's not necessarily fun, especially, all the accounting and paperwork, and as you can imagine, working with Disney or any large company is a ton of paperwork. So that is not fun. So there's a lot of parts that aren't fun, but there's parts that are really fun, like creating products and coming up with things and designing things is what really I enjoy the most. So I kind of live for those, that's what makes me happy. So there's got to be enough in what you're going to do that makes you really happy, so that you have a reason to get up in the morning and say, I'm going to go and battle this again, because I want to do this, and it's worthwhile,
This stuff is hitting my soul. And I have one more question. Do you have a favorite red shade?
Usually I go for right now, because, it's like the brighter the red, the more it picks me up, so right now, because there's so much going on in the world that is depressing, I tend to go for the brighter reds, because they just give me a lift. So I've been wearing a lot of Red Heart Red and Victory Red, those really brighter colors. Besame Red, the brights. When I'm kind of more subdued and I'm going to a meeting or something and I need something a little more serious, I usually go for the Red Velvet. It's one of my kind of like Red Velvet or Forever Red are pretty mainstay office reds that are really nice, for an evening out, something more sophisticated. Those two colors really good for that. So those are kind of what I teeter on. Either I go really brights or I go for the more subdued business reds.
Depends on where you're going.
Depends on where I'm going. But right now I'm definitely been wearing more of the brights. Because it does really give me a confidence boost kind of thing, and basically just ups my mood. Especially when everything around you seems to be kind of crumbling.
But we're finding the bright side in everything.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
This is why I started the podcast.
No, it's good. I mean, you have to. You have to find the bright side. You have to find your purpose. What's the purpose of what you're doing? Luckily, we've been able to keep our people and we're all working remotely, but we still are a group, and we have Zoom meetings and all of that going on, but we're still able to keep the company running, and that's a good thing. Most people have had difficulties. The store is now reopened. We had to close it for a few months, and now it's open again. It is limited. It's more limited now for trying on things in this, but at least it's open. So, things are are a little bit better than they were, and we're still optimistic that
Yes.
things will turn around. So we're looking forward, and we have so many projects for next year that we're very excited to have people see all the new stuff that we're working on. So we're very excited.
Well, I'm excited too. I can't wait to see everything.
Oh yeah, we have a Disney collection this year still to launch by around November, and next year we have two more iconic women and another Disney collection too. So we have a lot going on, lot of stuff.
Do you have any questions for me?
Well, what you said you do podcasts, but you also do breakfasts and or
Oh,
meetings or that?
I have I run a couple events in South Florida for I always felt alone in the way that I dressed, so I started a meetup,
Ah,
and I started off with this car show that I go to around my house, and I just started having brunch because I would meet a lot of girls. I would say, "Oh, I love the way you dress, but I don't really have anywhere to dress like that," and I'm like, "Well, you don't need an excuse, but if you want one, I'm having brunch, and you could join me," and then it just grew.
that's
And then
great.
I started
That's great.
hosting, yeah, 4 years now. I've started hosting
Wow.
different other events. I host pinup contests around Florida, and then I host a rockabilly prom,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
yeah,
That's
just different
great.
things.
That
I
sounds
can't
fun.
no events that I like, so I was like, I gotta make what I like. So
That's awesome though, but you found the groups, you found groups of
yes,
people that are like-minded, and that's great. I mean, here in California, there's a lot of people that dress
yes,
vintage. So we have a lot here. I think a lot more probably than in Florida that
yes.
like to dress. Yeah, because there's a lot here, people that dress all the time. We have tons of girls that love to dress up. So it's a large thing, I think, here.
Yes, I can't wait to visit Cali. I'm gonna go say hi to you
Oh,
whenever
awesome.
this is over.
Yes. Yes, please do. And yeah, I would love to, host one of your meetups if you would like. I would love to
Ooh, that would be
participate.
great.
Yeah, I would love to do it. I kind of love the idea of meeting up with people that have like-minded things and sharing a meal in that.
Yeah.
Now,
And it's all types of people, all
oh,
different,
sure.
like
Oh,
all
yeah.
different ages. I've even had little girls come because they think I look like a Disney princess.
There
Because
you
my
go.
my
Yeah.
style is very eccentric, so it's kind of more than the norm. But
Yeah, that's great.
but it's
That's great.
attractive to the kids, and
Yes,
their husbands come, and then they start coming. I also do workshops sometimes of hair and makeup workshops,
that's great.
and that's allowed me to travel to Washington and other states. So I've been very happy that what I love, people love, and I've been able to share my. I try to empower women through my love of vintage, and that's why I love Besame because it's modern, but with a vintage flair, which is the same thing I try to bring into my podcast and everything that I do.
That is awesome. That's awesome, and it is very empowering to dress the way you like and to kind of put out the image that you want and get the reaction that you want from other people. I tell people when you wear red, you definitely get a different reaction from people. You have to be
When you
prepared
have
for that.
yellow hair.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to take that in and relish it because it's great
Yes.
to get that attention. So we try to convert as many people as possible
Yes.
to wearing red because most women are so shy they don't like to wear red or they think it wouldn't look good on them. So we tell people we have a red for you. We definitely
Yes.
have a red for everybody. So there, if you've never worn it, we can find one for you that will make you.
Convert you into a Besame girl.
Yes, exactly. I think you definitely, if you've never worn red, you should try it at least once and go out and see what reactions you get and see how people treat you and what what you feel when you wear it because it's definitely kind of life altering to wear red.
Wait, thank you, Gabriela, for coming on to the podcast.
Oh, thank
And
you.
make sure to follow at Besame Cosmetics on Instagram at Besame Cosmetics and check out their products at besamecosmetics.com. And they're also up for an award for the Beacon Awards for Best Packaging.
Yes.
So make sure to vote for them.
Oh,
The link
yeah.
is on their Instagram. And I did my research.
Thank you.
And
very
I'll also
much.
put it below in the description. So make sure to vote for them because honestly, this is the cutest package you'll ever find on any modern vanity.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we have a lot of things for your vanity. So take a look, and we have more in the store. So if you are in California, go by and take a look because we have a lot of goodies for your vanity in the store that we can't ship, so they're not on the website. So if you ever are in the area, go take a look because we have a lot of really cool things.
Ooh. Somebody video chat with me from the store.
There you go. Yes, there you go. Definitely.
All right, Gabriela, thank you so much.
Oh,
And
thank you.
have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on next Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.